KDB. KDB.
Beats Planet.
And we back. This your boy Lombardicus Prime, and I'm having second thoughts about Odell Beckham. Oh shit! What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Once again.
Stop the cap.
I'm bullshit. Hey, yo, listen, we do got to talk though. We do got to have a little bitty conversation about some of the things that's been going on in Cowboy Nation. You know what I'm saying? Got a couple of sound clips we got pulled here from our beloved Mike McCarthy, who's been doing a fantastic job, who should be in at least the top 8 for Coach of the Year. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to listen to him, see what he got to say, cross that road whenever we get there. We got some pretty good analysis based on the film that we watch. I put my offensive line rankings on my social medias. If you want to go check that out on Twitter, VOCHLOMBARDI, and see how I rank the offensive line. And of course, I'll be giving y'all a breakdown. Will Steele just happened to be in my Patreon last night. We was breaking down offensive line. And Noah Brown threw a block so good, we called him a wide guard, Will Steele. If you don't want to miss fantastic analysis and jokes like that, you need to tap into my Patreon, patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. I mentioned his name. Let's go ahead and introduce the show. I'm your host, Lombardicus Prime. Yeah?
You are watching a master at work.
In my mind.
VOCHLOMBARDI. We in the Christmas spirit, you feel me? Well, before I introduce you, hold on, time out. And I'm being point guard by the best in the business, Will Steele.
Santa Claus on the ceiling, Big Willie chilling. Pinch the Grinch for being a holiday villain.
What's good with you, sir?
I was on the bomb squad for 10 years.
What's good, sir?
I'm good, fam. How you?
Fantastic. Now, Will Steele, I hopped on the social media the other day, right?
Let's get you cleared up over here. You're good now.
Appreciate you, my guy. Oh my God, I'm pixelating. Stop.
Yeah, you're moving it. It'll come back at some point.
I gotta leave and come back.
No, I don't think so.
If this shit don't, look, because the Void just gave us fantastic news, we can't get that. We can't get that, and this shit starts to happen. We need to reset. I'll reset. Okay, we fine. We just gotta. Take a little time. We'll be good to go.
Let's let it work itself out here.
We're still in fantastic 4K 80p, and I'm just up. I'm just. Yo, Will, put me on mute because I can't say this out loud.
Let's
put me on mute.
Go ahead. Oh wait. Now go ahead. Whoo, that was close. Yeah, you can't say that. You can't. Let me see. Yeah, come back. You're still a bit pixelated here. I don't know why, bro. Try it. Let's see what happens. You're dealing with me. We're going to get him back up in here. I know. Relax. We don't have all the cool little setup like ESPN and them dudes, but we're going to see if we can get this back popping. I think we goody. We good. Yeah, I saw that. Can you explain that? Oh yeah, you was still on. All right, go back.
Okay, we good. Now, can y'all hear me? Check. I went on Twitter, right? And I said on Twitter, I was like, you can tell a lot about a person when you ask them what are the first 3 words in Silent Night.
Yeah, what was that about?
Well, Will, so I'll tell you. I feel like when you do ask a lot of these people and they be like, well, what's the first 3 words? If they say silent night and holy, then when they hear Silent Night, then they think of, Silent Night, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my whole life, when I think of Silent Night, and probably Miss Sheila and anybody else that's in this demographic of ours, when we first hear Silent Night, the first 3 words that we think of is
You are watching a master at work.
In my mind.
we think of Temptation Silent Night.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And you can and I said you can tell a lot or whatever, but there is this cultural barrier somewhere. I have a confession. I never heard the original Silent Night. The Catholic Silent Night, the Christmas Silent Night, the one that come on Christmas ABC Family Charlie Brown special. I've never heard this one. I've never heard the original Silent Night. But when I think Silent Night, I hear
You are watching a master.
I hear Temptations.
In
In my
my mind.
mind, I want you to be free for all of my friends. Want you to listen to me, and then they go into their rendition of Silent Night. So if y'all haven't heard the Temptations version of Silent Night, that pops up in my mind when I hear Silent Night. I see a lot of people in the chat that say I'm tripping. Y'all can kick rocks, motherfucker. Y'all can listen to the
Basically, fuck them.
you can listen to whatever version of Silent Night you want to, but Temptation Silent Night is the one that sticks out to me the most. It is what it is. Let's get into this conversation here. A lot of things happened over the last couple of days. For one, Cowboys, our beloved Dallas Cowboys, beat the shit out the Indianapolis Colts. And, when you beat the shit out of a team in that fashion, you tend to have a lot of questions. We have a lot of roster moves, in terms of what we're going to do at the cornerback position. We have players emerging, like our safety group that we're going to talk about a little bit. Our particular wide receiver one that everybody don't agree. Because, look, it's 10,000 people on this side saying one thing, and there's one person right here saying another thing. The one person feels like they're right over the 10,000 people when we talk about CeeDee Lamb being the number 1 receiver. We'll talk about that later. And we just got we have a bunch of well-asked questions for Mike McCarthy here. Let's start here. Well, we'll start with the Odell Beckham question. Then I'll ask you and the chat box about some of my thoughts that I've had here. Let's get going.
Yes, Odell's here. He's going through the medical phase of it right now. I have not met with him. We have an itinerary, so that'll go through the evening, and then we'll continue tomorrow.
So Odell is there, and he's gone through his medicals, or at least as to the extent of a medical conversation that they're going to have. We see some things floating around the Twitter machine, Will, still. Now, I understand that there's a lot of things that come with this Odell Beckham thing. There's the Can You Help Us this year? And they asked Jerry Jones on 105.3 The Fan. Jerry Jones basically said, this is Voch translating. I don't want to be an asshole when I say this, but if that motherfucker can't play this year, I kind of wouldn't even want to sign him. I know there's this bigger idea of Odell Beckham as a Cowboy long-term. But there's also this idea that we're in a Super Bowl window run right goddamn now. You understand what I'm saying? So what we get is the news that Odell, the possibility that Odell Beckham wouldn't even be able to play until wild card week, until week 1 of the playoffs. Now, Will, still, let me ask you this, sir. We are heavily documented on this show on Voch Lombardi Live on the Volume, who does good things for us, right? We're heavily documented on this show saying, well, sure, we would love to have Odell Beckham on this team. And we were thinking about the late year run, the last 8 or 9 games or so. If we can't have Odell Beckham until wild card week, does that change your views on acquiring Odell Beckham for this team?
Well, yeah, I was a bit confused at first because I wasn't sure if it was he won't be available at all this year. But if you can get him for wild card week, that changes a little bit. I would have liked to see him play a few games or a game or whatever. But if you get him in the building, he's practicing, he's working with the team, understanding the playbook, and then you unleash him in a wild card game, I guess that would satisfy my appetite a little bit. Yeah. But, man, this whole rolling out the red carpet thing for just a wild card, just one game, seems to be like all this for that. I thought he was going to be ready to play at least a couple games first.
Yeah. Honestly, my thoughts will still is if you're going to show up for the wild card game, we might not even use you, or we might as well not even use you. That's my mind about it. And Will Steele, you just happen to be superstitious. But I know you superstitious because I be trying to get roundtables out of you, and you don't be want to do them. And I imagine that if we get to the roundtable, playoffs are just different. You know what I mean? It ain't like we rolling up against Houston or something, and we just throw Odell Beckham out there. All right, go ahead, Odell, see what you do. Or even an Eagle game, which is a huge game in the regular season, it's still a regular season. At this point, when you get to the playoffs, shit's different. And when you just throw Odell Beckham in a game where it's win or go home, you kind of have the possibility where you can mess with some mojo for a little bit. Now, previously throughout the year, when we talk about Odell Beckham, we talk from the context of, okay, well, he's here. He has about 3 or 4 regular season games to get acclimated. Then we can roll his ass out in the wild card or just wherever we play, because we could be getting bye week. We'll just roll him out in the playoffs, and he'll be at least a little bit acclimated, because the Rams had a little while to get him acclimated. The Rams had a good number of games to get him acclimated. If he's just going to show up in wild card week, then I might as well not even, I don't even want to waste my time with it, because I think Odell Beckham as a long-term prospect on this team could be a guy for you. But are we having this conversation because maybe he had a setback with his knee? Because Odell Beckham tore his ACL in the Super Bowl, but Gallup tore his in the playoffs. So, I mean, in the last week of the season. So it could have been playoffs. I think so. So wouldn't that mean that Odell Beckham is a little bit behind his treatment schedule or his healing schedule or anything like that? I don't know. There's a lot of questions that come with that. Go ahead.
I don't know if he's behind per se. Sure. When I talked to Dr. Boothby about the ACL stuff, he's the one who helped me cover the Michael Gallup situation. The 8, what was it? I think he said about 8 to 10 months is about the normal recovery for it, and then you got to get back right. That takes a few more weeks or months to kind of get. Look where Michael Gallup's at. He's still trying to figure things out, and he's looking better and better. But that was, where we at? It's December. He got a surgery in January-ish, somewhere around there, February. He tore it a year ago. Got the surgery in February. And that's with being at training camp, with being, around the team, et cetera. So I think it's about the right track, because he tore it in February, and 8 months would take you to October. 10 months would take you to right now.
I just feel like if we had a little more time to work him in, then, it'll be fine. Now, if we want to have this conversation about Odell Beckham, hey, man, still come in, do your tour, meet the guys, but we have this conversation in like real life free agency in the offseason, then we can talk about it then. We can cross that road then. But I would hate for us to continue this road that we're on, because I'm a little superstitious just like you. I would hate to continue this road that we're on, and we're doing great with fucking 14 personnel and our 2 running backs, and CeeDee Lamb and Gallup really all we need at wide receiver, in which Noah Brown and James Washington can be help Noah Brown, I guess, guy or whatever. I wouldn't want to just bring it in like, all right, y'all, we got to run a lot more 11 personnel. But it's the first time we get to see the motherfucker. All right, cool. We just go through all this, and Odell Beckham shows up in the first week of the playoffs. He runs 10 routes for 5 targets. I would rather just, if that's going to be the case, I'll just keep Hendershot on the field. Just keep Ferguson on the field, just keep Galloping, or just put Tony out there or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't want to mess up too much just because he's Odell Beckham. The shit got to make sense for both sides. And if he's not going to be ready to the playoffs, that wouldn't make much sense for us. That's all. Did you have any, just any other follow-up thing before I move on to the next quote there, Will Steele?
Nah, just ready kind of for this to hit its head and get over with, so we can move forward. Because if it's not Odell, then it's going to be James Washington, and James Washington is ready. So.
Yep. Something that's going to help us expeditiously is Tyron Smith coming back. And they talked about Tyron Smith and his windows and all those things. So here's Mike McCarthy talking about that.
I think the biggest thing is just to get him back out there. So, we're obviously looking forward to Tyron being back out there Wednesday. So, we will not have any padded work this week. So, we're going to make sure we get him as much work as padded teamwork, because, we're obviously in the period now where you have to count your padded practices, your 1 padded practice per week. But yes, he will be part of the practice Wednesday, and we'll see how he does.
So what that means to me, Will, still, is that he's probably going to be live for the Jaguars game, in which I thought he was going to be live for Texans. But if he's going to be practicing this week, Mike McCarthy said he's not going to be padding up. Mike McCarthy love his padded practices, or at least he want to see you go through the practice. You know what I'm saying? So if he's just going to be getting his feet wet this week, then most likely we're going to be seeing him in Jaguars game. That what you got from it, Will?
Yeah, I didn't even peep that one, because this morning I was talking about, maybe, we'll see how he looks this week. But I didn't peep that he said no padded practice this week. So it definitely has to be next week, because that's an important part.
It's very important, very important. And you know, at some point, man, and please, y'all tap into my Patreon. Last night on the Patreon, we saw there were a couple of drives where Tyler Smith got a little bit of work at guard, and also Connor McGovern got some guard work with Jason Peters. But I think we're just gearing guys up for different, you know, configurations or whatnot. It's a good problem to have multiple offensive linemen that can play in multiple roles. Well, I still got my glasses. I'll leave them on. You know what I mean? That to have multiple offensive linemen to play multiple roles for you. So when Tyron Smith comes back, cool. It could be Tyron and Tyler. If anything happens to Tyler, then it could be Tyron and McGovern. You know what I'm saying? So if Tyron come back out there and go out again expeditiously, knock on wood, please. Knock on this wood over here. Just knock on all then you know you have some options there, and you've played around with different O-line configurations to make you feel comfortable with that. But go on.
What about this though?
Please.
I don't even really care if he does. I hate to say that, right? I'm not trying to sound like I hope it happens. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like I think we're at a point now where years ago, if Tyron went down, we're like, oh no. All right, just put Tyler Smith back out there or Jason Peters out there, and we know we can be the number one offense with that, right? So it's a different feel. Seriously though, isn't it a different feel than it was just 6 months ago?
It's not the emergency that it once was. I understand what you're saying.
Not even close, right?
But we are 30th in pass rush win rate,
and the number one offense.
That's fair enough.
It's weird.
Enough. It's strange, man. It's a strange little year for that. I do think there's room to get better though.
Sure.
And you know, we always had a conversation, man. You know, we talk about the 49ers, they lose their quarterback, but they still got D-line for days. So I just want to be as best as I could possibly be. You know what I mean? And if Tyron Smith, like I said, he's probably not gonna be he's not gonna be like you know, Zach Martin and them. Kratos is still one of the best guys in the league. But if Tyron Smith can at least provide, you know, top 8-ish, and for offensive tackle, that's a lot. But if he could be top 8-ish for you, then yeah, we leave his ass right there and let young Tyler blossom. Because look, every time Tyler go to left guard, I just smile and I can't stop smiling with.
Oh, looks so good, man.
Did you see him stand up to Forrest Buckner and
yes?
Stop moving? Oh, come on, Will Steele. Come on, Will Steele. I know some of y'all may have missed it. You saying, well, Voch, I don't remember you dropping the film session on Tyler Smith standing up to Forrest Buckner. You should be my Patreon. But boy, I was like, oh, Tyler Smith is a guard. It'd be great to see him versus DeForest Buckner. And they put DeForest Buckner right there like they was picking on him. But boy, Tyler's so strong, Will Steele. Tyler just so strong.
Did you see what he did? And now this was at left tackle though. I left right before you got to that point. But when Tony Pollard scored and he just took Ngakoue and just bullied him out the club and then he hit him with a Steph Curry. He turned around before he scored and was like,
Chat, listen, just in case y'all haven't been watching the film or you're not a part of the Patreon or you're not tapped in with Will Steele and the fantastic film work that he does, right? You got to understand that when we're watching Tyler Smith, we're mostly watching cartel view. That's the back view, camera angled rear to evaluate linemen, right? That's normally what we're watching. But Tyler whooped people so bad, we got to go back to the wide receiver view. We got to go wide to see, okay, well, where'd he take him? Where'd he take him? Oh, he took him to the numbers? That's hilarious. Tyler Smith is moving people like that, bro. So just imagine if you can deal with DeForest Buckner like that, and of course, if Tyler would have wrestled DeForest Buckner like 12 more times, DeForest would have got him a couple times, sure. But if you can wrestle DeForest Buckner like that, I feel great versus Vita Vea or like Armstead or like any of these other guys that these other teams have that were Fletcher and them, you know what I mean, that we're bound to go against. So Tyler Smith, we appreciate you, sir. Let's get you at guard expeditiously. John G from DMV Fanatic says Marty says he don't trust Tyler Smith at guard. Oh no, that's got to be hyperbole. John G got to be making noise right now, because if I scroll down there and see that Martise really feels that way about Tyler Smith, I'm really gonna get loud. Then we ain't gonna go there now.
You got pixelated again for whatever reason.
I got pixelated again. God damn. Maybe I gotta run a speed test or something like that to get my life back together. I don't know. I look good right here, but
I can hear you perfectly fine. It just
you can hear me.
It
good,
just looks funky. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me close some of these other windows. Man, I got a couple windows open, man. You know when you get a new PC, man, the first thing you do is you open up all
everything.
The windows. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, man, my PC powerful. I can open up the window. You know what I mean? But it's all good. It's all good. We'll cross this bridge.
Shit,
That we get
man, I
there.
might have to get me another one with all this dang editing. But you want to come back in, go out, or what you want to do?
Yeah, we'll do it again.
All right, let me pull this up here and get him back in here real quick. Bear with us, squad. Appreciate y'all. All right, he
Do it
back,
again.
and
Hey,
we good to go. Here we go.
It ain't nothing for us to do it again, man. Beanie Siegel said lames get lucky, but the real ones do it again. I just unlocked the phone, so if y'all want to call into the phone is unlocked. Come in, tap in with us. First of all, shouts out to Anthony Brown. We appreciate you for your service and everything that you have done for us, sir. But how are we going to replace Anthony Brown? We asked Mike McCarthy, and these are some of the words that he had to say.
I mean, that's really for the week. But I think if you just point to the game, I mean, you got Calvin and Nashawn will, he's been very consistent. He hasn't had many opportunities. So, we have young players that need to step up.
You look at outside the building for help, practice squads or free.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think our numbers reflect that. So, I mean, we'll continue to always look at players, but both the practice squad route and, obviously where we are on the 53-man roster.
Let's just keep it a buck here, man. It is Kelvin Joseph's job to lose. Do you agree, Will Steele?
Yeah, that's what he's up first. That's what Dan Quinn said.
Yeah. I understand Sheffield's a guy and Nashawn's a guy. And look, I like that too, Mike McCarthy. That's actually a fantastic message. Brown goes down. You all have the opportunity to earn this job. Come in, compete, and see if you can earn this job. So I like the message that Mike McCarthy's spewing here, but I went to media school. I went to media YouTube O-line school. You know what I mean? I've been to many schools, and Will Steele, just to keep it a buck here, all that Kendall Sheffield, Nashawn Wright talk is fine, but that only applies if Kelvin Joseph goes out there and look absolutely trash. We already saw that Kelvin Joseph is the first guy up that you look for. Because when Brown gets down, Kelvin Joseph was the guy that came into play. Even when Brown was healthy and he was simply playing bad or just giving up plays, Kelvin Joseph was the first one off the bench. You listen to Jerry Jones talk this morning, and if you want any information, Mike McCarthy ain't gonna tell you. Jerry Jones can't wait to give you all the best tea in the world. Jerry Jones said, yeah, man, we're looking for that to be Kelvin Joseph on the outside. So all indicators are pointing to the direction that Kelvin Joseph will get first crack on the outside. Now, Will Steele, I know Kelvin Joseph gave up a touchdown to which he was in good position for the touchdown. He just didn't get a chance. That was just a fantastic play by the offense in that one. But did you get a chance to just look at some of Kelvin Joseph coverage reps, Will Steele?
Yep. Went back and watched every last one of them.
Kelvin Joseph got some coverability, Will Steele. Kelvin Joseph got some coverability, man. We just got to get that whole find the ball, swat the ball thing going on. But at the end of the day, and I don't mean to be this way about Anthony Brown or even Jordan Lewis, you know what I mean? But these guys are your youth. Diggs is one of your OGs, but he's technically one of your youth also, right? Or just this new corner wave. Because honestly, in real life, Brown like what, 29? Will Steele? Anthony Brown like 29.
Brown's
30?
done. His contract's up. He won't be here next year.
He won't be here, and I don't think Jordan Lewis will be here neither. So this is your test, right? And many of us in the content world, and many of y'all in the chat box, right? We're off-season people for the most part. So before we get in the draft world, before we get into free agency, now is our time to see what we actually have. I think we know what we have in Deron Bland. I don't think we're going to be shopping for first-string nickel corners. If anything, we'll probably be looking for depth guys, but I think Deron Bland has proven himself. So now we're in this situation to see, okay, well, what do we have at cornerback number 2? And these next 8 games are going to be a test for Kelvin Joseph to see if he can take this spot and solidify it, right? If it's 8, sure.
I'm under the belief I don't think he'll have a long leash. Okay, so you think that if Kelvin Joseph, okay, so let's say he comes out, not even like gives up plays, because people give up plays, right? Let's just say he's constantly like just constant bad play. You think Kelvin Joseph hits the bench and we give Nashawn or Kendall Sheffield a try? Probably Sheffield before Nashawn. He would have to be probably really bad because they don't have a whole lot of depth behind him. But maybe they slide Bland out. Maybe they try him inside because I don't think they want to give up on him. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they try him in the slot, which he's not been in the slot a lot. But sure. They need an answer now more than long term at this point, because this is a team that's on the precipice of being, that SB word, right? Like going to the bowl, and you don't want that opposite corner spot to be a weak link, especially if you're not going to if you're not going to scheme that way. And
Sure.
which they haven't been doing. They've been trusting him to do it. So this is the opportunity for Kelvin Joseph to step up, and he has to be completely fair. He hasn't been that great this year. It is what it is. Last year's tape to me has been much better than this year's tape. But maybe it's a mental thing, maybe it's a confidence thing, whatever. But he's going to have a whole lot of reps to gain some confidence, though. Tell you that much.
Yeah, plenty of reps. Like I said, this is his opportunity to lose. But just in the grand scheme of things, right? I just look at it like, okay, well, how many more big plays can Kelvin Joseph give up than Anthony Brown? You know what I'm saying? And Anthony Brown got tried a whole bunch. So if Kelvin Joseph simply, if he gets tried as much as Anthony Brown, then Kelvin Joseph should know what's coming his direction. What I do like about Kelvin Joseph is that I know he can tackle. I know he at least got that I will go tackle in him. And that's something that's going to continue to help us in the run game, right? I think the Cowboys did a fantastic, and they have done a fantastic job the last couple of weeks in terms of, just getting better in the run game, whether it be the front line, whether it be the linebackers, but also the corners and safeties. We're going to talk about the safeties a little bit in a minute. But DaRon Bland has showed you. I did that film yesterday. Y'all go watch. You ain't got to pay for Patreon. DaRon Bland, on top of his coverage ability, will come his ass down and hit. And I love that about him. So I think that's an improvement there. And if Kelvin Joseph can bring that thing that he does on, kicking team, punt team and all those things, then we have an upgraded group of tackling corners, which makes me smile. Did you have anything else before I move on with?
Yeah, and I think that's the difference between Kelvin Joseph and DaRon Bland for me personally, is that DaRon Bland has given me so much confidence in him since camp. We were down there in California, and we saw practices. Kelvin Joseph was your fifth, sometimes sixth best corner in those practices. We saw preseason. He wasn't one of your better corners. DaRon Bland was playing above it. We see this year in games that Kelvin Joseph hasn't been that great. So it's like, I'm sorry, I can't fake the funk. He has to earn that confidence from me personally. I can't just blindly say, hey man, Kelvin Joseph is going to be great. I need to see him, get better and better and better over these next few weeks before I'm confident in that, we're better on that side of the ball. Whereas DaRon Bland, hell, we was calling for DaRon Bland to get some tick immediately because we saw the traits. We saw the confidence. We saw him able to go, I gave up that pass and it came right back and got an interception, or I came right back and got a pass breakup. So I'm gonna be curious, sit back, wait and see approach on Kelvin Joseph.
Well, still, DaRon Bland was so good last week.
Gosh.
Man. He was so good. I was watching the game, man. I took my glasses off. I did it then, but I'm not going to do it now. I took my glasses off, and I just shook my head in silence, bro. Like, man, dog, like, just keep doing that, DaRon Bland. Just get better. Keep doing that. And Diggs is going to be who he is. And even if Kelvin's not the guy or if Brown's not the guy, we'll draft a corner.
Yeah.
DaRon Bland, you just stay consistent, dog.
His, I think it was his second interception. The ball skills on that interception was unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. He changed directions 3 different times and twice as he's fallen, because he was actually kind of going for the breakup / tackle, and then he saw that it was thrown on the inside, and he changed his trajectory midair and snagged that. It's just, he's really good, man. Second best ball skills on the team. There's no doubt in my mind. He, at this moment, to me, is your second best cornerback on the team. Might have been before bro went out. That's how he's playing. That's what he showed me earlier, and that's what he showed me since he's been playing for Jordan Lewis. So, yeah, DB, I ain't got no issues with DaRon Bland.
Cool. Somebody in the chat box trying to get beat up, ain't it? Let's get to the next one, man. Let's get to the next one. We just got this job. We talked about Anthony Brown. We talked about Kelvin Joseph. Let's see. Mike McCarthy, how does Kelvin Joseph look?
I mean, Kelvin's, extremely talented. I mean, he's done some really good things on special teams. I mean, he's, we leave him and CJ, single throughout. I think that speaks volumes about how we feel about them. And, they've been given some tough challenges over the course of the year. So, but this is a huge opportunity for him, and we're counting on him to step up.
Counting on him to step up, man. There are no more real words to have been spoken. We're counting on you to step up, because in real life, Will Steele, I love to use the word impediments. I apologize, chat. I use the fuck out of impediments. Even in my last film session, I probably used it 3 times. That's 2 times too many. I apologize, right? But Will Steele, it was run game and it was deep balls versus cornerback too. You understand? If there's anything that this defense had a problem with, this defense is right there at the door from being one of them dudes. Run game and deep passes versus cornerback too. So when Mike McCarthy say we count on Kelvin Joseph, I take it one extra step. If we can erase deep ball versus cornerback too, because we already doing a good job with dealing with run game, then you take away all disadvantages from this defense, Will Steele. So yes, we're counting on Kelvin Joseph. Not only counting on Kelvin Joseph, just to, if he simply just does his job, right? He ain't got to be the best dude on the field. We got dudes to be the best. We got 4 dudes to go be the best dude on the field at their position or whatever. You ain't got to be the best dude on the field, Kelvin Joseph. But if you just simply do your job and just not be bad at this spot, just be regular at this spot. Just don't be bad at this spot. Then this defense can be one of them defense that we talked about when we talk about these other defense. We'll cross that road in February and March and shit like that. We ain't got to talk nobody up right now. But if you just do your job, hold on, let me just get my let me where my
just
button
gotta
at?
do
Your
your
mama
job.
sure does care about your schooling, son.
What'd you say, Will Steele?
Yeah, I was doing a meme where he was like, "You about to lose your job.
I might.
You just gotta do your job."
Fantastic. Mike McCarthy. They asked Mike McCarthy, one of them fellas, forgot who it was for one of these organizations. They said, Mike McCarthy, what you think about the job that Donovan Wilson did? And let me just answer Mike McCarthy, for Mike McCarthy. Donovan Wilson did a fantastic fucking job in all phases of the game. Just him being a tenacious tone-setting tackler and hitter means a lot to this defense. So I'm just go ahead and answer that. But Mike McCarthy not only answered the Donovan Wilson question, but he took the time to talk about all 3 of his safeties. This is going to be a bigger conversation for me and Will Steele here.
I loved it. I mean, I thought that the safety group as a whole, all 3 of those guys were huge. I mean, I don't know who the hell to give the game ball to. I mean, it's just, I think we've had so many really good performances last night. And Dono's tackling was clinic. I mean, I thought he was extremely physical, flew all over the place, and a lot of respect for Jonathan Taylor going into this. And, he was an excellent challenge for our run defense. And I thought Dono was played lights out last night.
Will Steele, we talked about this in the offseason, but I think this would be a good week to bring it back up because all 3 of these safeties did a fantastic job this week. We have gone as Cowboy fans, and Jerry Jones said this on the radio this morning. He said, shit, it's been a while since I said anything about safety. He said, I said anything good about safety. You know what I mean? We have gone from, damn, dog, I have no safeties that I feel good about. And now we got 5 safeties that we relatively feel good about. 4 of them played. Izzy's playing. That's almost said Marquise. Marquise Bell has been inactive or whatever, but Izzy will play sometimes. But for the most part, right? J-Ron, Donovan, and then Malik Hooker had his Malik Hooker game last week. Will Steele, talk to me about the safeties. What did you see on film from those guys?
When I did I have the little cookout. You know how I do, and I shouted out Malik Hooker. I was like, he had one of those games, but bruh. J-Ron Kearse and Dono did too. They just didn't have the touchdown and the interception and the fumble recovery. But Donovan Wilson put on a clinic, like he said, from a tackling standpoint. And J-Ron Kearse got back to being a better cover safety. I don't know if there was the injury, but I think this year, it's not arguable that he was struggling a little bit in coverage, trying to get back from that injury. But all 3 of these dudes seem to be clicking and at the right time too, right? Peaking, getting into that final form, midseason form at the end of the season. And I'm sorry, but I hate to be this dude about the safety situation because y'all know I love the safety position. I think it's more important than a lot of people want to say it isn't. But I think Dan Quinn is almost 100% responsible for the success at safety.
Sure.
Because think about this for a second. Since 2003 or whatever the last time they drafted Roy Williams, the safety situation has been very up and down, a lot of down, right? And especially in the draft, they haven't been drafting well. They haven't even really been drafting them. Since 2012, higher than the round 4 or 2013, whatever it's been. And then Dan Quinn gets here. He takes a journeyman guy, J-Ron Kearse, 6th-round pick in Donovan Wilson, although Dono was great in 2020. But, Dono got hurt, and now look at him, right? Malik Hooker was dealing with so many injuries and didn't know if he was going to be that guy. And now we're talking about having the best safety room in the league.
Crazy.
To me, the difference between those other 15 years and now is Dan Quinn, man. So that's why I want to keep this man around. Pay him like a head coach because he puts people in the best positions to succeed, and he's doing that with those 3 dudes.
He could just get so much out of regular dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not to say that these dudes are like regular, like they're great athletes, of course. But it ain't like people was beating down the door trying to get Donovan Wilson from us, or people trying to beat
Or
down
get J-Ron.
You know what I'm saying? Like Malik Hooker was a $38 a year guy, but Dan Quinn took them dudes, man, and he put them in roles, and he made the role easy. Well, not for JK. JK got a big role, but look, it fit Taylor perfect to him. It fits him perfectly. And them dudes, man. You know, I think part of the problems that we had in the run game this year will still probably. I'm pixelated again. God damn, Carl. Yeah, look, I'm just looking over. I'm gonna get this point out, then we're gonna move on to the next part. Then I hit I hit the refresh. But this will never happen again. This never happens on Colin Cowherd's show. But the video is up. Thanks, Voch. All right, cool. Yeah, whenever we get that, the film will be ready when we're done here. But those dudes have elevated themselves to where like we can account for them in the run game. You know what I'm saying? You can look at these formations and you know we got 3 safeties out there, and a 3 safety personnel package looks like a pass heavy formation, but shit, we get in the rundown stuff with those 3 safeties on the field. Then we can keep those guys on the field to deal with, you know, pass defense and things like that, man. So man, I love what Dan Quinn did with these guys, man. It's just, you know, I just want them to be consistent. The same thing I said about Deron Bland. If they just simply be consistent, bro. Whew, it is what it is. I'm hitting the refresh one still.
All right. We should be good.
How I say? I got theme comeback music. All right, cool.
Listen, you know how I am.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. You know, super producer Will Steele. I have here written down just let the reporter ask the question, then let Mike McCarthy answer it. So let's listen together as a family.
CeeDee followed the path of the guys that you've been around that have moved into a number 1 role.
Excellent. I mean, I go back and I look at when Greg Jennings got his opportunity, Jordy Nelson, you know, Devontae Adams, you know, Randall Cobb, you know, when those guys were given that opportunity to play both inside and outside, you know, they go to a whole different level, and CeeDee is definitely in that mode right now. So it's exciting. You just see the confidence that he has, you know, in his route running. You know, the yards after the catch was phenomenal last night. So yeah, I think he's doing exactly what we're asking him to do. He's playing at a high level.
Listen, Martise. Listen, sir. Listen, sir. Let me tell you something, man. I don't know everything. I don't know all things, Martise. And you have indeed paraded around my chat box and my comment section and my phones as if you know more than the people in the chat box and on the show and on the phones. And that's cool that you think that way, Martise. But the one person you don't know more than is goddamn Mike McCarthy. I dare you to get in this chat box and say something different. And I dare you to go in there and call Mike McCarthy a fanboy. I dare you to go in there and say something disparaging about that fella. Let me take my glasses off. Now, Will Steele. Let me tell you something, bro. Mike McCarthy didn't say Devontae Adams on accident. That was no mistake when he just said that, Will Steele. And I looked at how Kellen Moore was used yesterday. You know what I mean? It was so inspiring. I'm like, hey, there's no way we can go back from that, Will Steele. What do I mean by that? You know, once you show me something, I get acclimated to it. It's got to be that for the rest of my life, or else I'm going to feel like I've been shorted. Let's just say the Cowboys ran 65 plays yesterday. I don't have the exact number. Will Steele, do you have the exact number?
Of the plays?
Don't worry about it. You ain't got to find it. But let's just say the Cowboys ran 65 plays. CeeDee Lamb was probably in motion for about 61 of them, at least.
Well, they had the number. It was 42%. So
42%. So shit.
Career high. But it was. I know what you mean. He was used in motion more than he's ever been, and that's great.
Yes, and they would put, and I actually have a film session on CeeDee Lamb and, you know, how he was being used in motion to manipulate the Colts defense. That'll be coming out after we're done here. They'll put CeeDee Lamb in motion. So whenever Gilmore was on a single receiver side. It could be a wide receiver or a tight end or anything like that. You know what I mean? Whenever Gilmore was on that side, he'll play down on that character because there's only one character on that side. But when CeeDee Lamb motions to Gilmore's side, Gilmore kind of back up a little bit. And I think Kellen noticed that on film. That's when we ran into we'll motion CeeDee to Gilmore's side. Gilmore's going to give us space. Let's just throw it to CeeDee Lamb once he get in that space that Gilmore once occupies that he does anymore. Simple things. Or we know that CeeDee Lamb is going to be in a high-low read with Dalton Schultz on the left side of the field. But let's start him on the right side of the field. The defense is going to get comfortable. They're going to set in a way. He's going to end up on the other side. They're going to adjust. And while they're adjusting, we just going to snap the fucking football and just put these cornerbacks in the middle of the read. And it ends up being an easy read, right? Or just handing the ball off to CeeDee Lamb 2 times to make Voch happy. I wish it was 3 times, right? Just these easy things. We're not asking CeeDee Lamb to be ridiculous out there. If he has to be ridiculous, fine, he can do it, but we're not asking him to do anything ridiculously crazy. All we're doing is putting him in the great position. I know Martise thinks that takes away from him being a number 1 receiver, but all the best number 1 receivers in the world do it, right? They put him in great position to win. They put him in open space, and once he's in the open space, we're simply asking him to win, to make a guy miss. And most of the time when he got the football, Will Steele, he made the first dude miss. He did it. And that's what he was doing in Oklahoma. And we always talked about, man, these wide receiver things that Will Steele, that CeeDee Lamb, you better not get wide receiver Will Steele in that. But all these things that wide receiver CeeDee Lamb is doing, you take Yak Lamb and throw that on top of that. And that's when you start to get special wide receiver one play, Will Steele.
Indeed.
What did you see from CeeDee Lamb, bro?
Everything you just said. One of the adjustments that I love that they made that I don't know if it's been bugging you as much as it's been bugging me. But trying to put CeeDee Lamb in the slot and run up the seam and just, hey, man, either run the dig or run the post, that has not been working. That's been a miscommunication. And let him either work on the outside, work that cornerback, or how about this for a change? Send everybody else to clear out and send CeeDee Lamb underneath on an over route or a mesh route or something. So I call it conflict. Create conflict, get it to him real quick. You know who does that the best in the league? The Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
They create conflict for their wide receivers, period. For years, they've been doing that to get the ball into their guys' hands so that they can have a yak chance and then yak ability. And that's all I've been asking for CeeDee Lamb is to stop sending him up that seam. And then now he feels he hasn't Dak, like he has to throw it to him in the middle of the field deep when there's 2 or 3 guys that will eventually converse on it. From time to time, that's fine. But I'd much rather him work the outside guy like he did Jair Alexander, work the outside guy like he did against Washington, work the outside guy like he did against the New York Giants, and then bring him in underneath everything and use Dalton Schultz to clear out, use Michael Gallup for some conflict, and get the ball into your playmaker's hands. That's what you need to do. When you have a playmaker like him, get the ball in his hands in advantageous situations. And they did that probably in this game more than any other from a schematic standpoint.
You love to see it, man. You love to see it, bro. And I was just behooved and blown. I wasn't behooved, but I was blown away at what we was able to do, man. I'm like, man, I've said this many times on the show, Will Steele. We just do that just 8 more times, man. Just we don't. And I've gotten to a point to where, and this even ties back into the Odell Beckham thing, man. We ain't got to do too much at wide receiver, dog. We just got to run within our offense, bro. Let's just run the football. We got 2 great running backs that can run the football, a fantastic run blocking offensive line. And to be fair, if Dak's only gonna throw the ball 30 times or something like that, shit, CeeDee getting 10 targets, I only lead 20 more. Dalton gonna get 6. You know what I mean? Tony might get 2. Zeke will get a dump off or something. Gallup will get 5. It ain't really a whole bunch of targets to go around anyway, man. So, even if it's a situation where we don't get Beckham, I'm cool, man, because I like what we're doing offensively regardless. But that's just me. I don't even know what this last clip was. Let's see if it's interesting enough. Stop. Let's see if it's interesting enough to talk about.
I'll focus again on that as well. What did you see from that group last night? And
Michael Gelkin destructed.
It's not interesting enough to talk about, so we're moving on. Go ahead.
No, Michael Gelkin couldn't get that one out.
Gelkin had a hard time, man. He get a little nervous, man. But it's so.
Which is ironic because he's the one that got me out of my nerves to ask a question.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy. Shouts out to Will Steele, man. Just big fancy media. Will Steele, super producer. Will Steele. They gonna have to pay you for 5 jobs.
Nah, they kick me right out that. See, during the offseason, Voch, it's easy to come up with some little nonsense question. Ain't nothing going on. During the season, they would have revoked my shit a long time ago.
Yeah. Mike McCarthy, Will Steele from A to Z Dallas. What the fuck is Kellen doing? What the fuck is Kellen doing? You have a portable war call machine. What the fuck is Kellen doing?
You know, you got the bottle and you be like, yeah, what the fuck is Kellen doing? War call.
Answer right now. They're gonna be pulling you away. You need to tell the people what's going on with Kellen. You can't stop it.
Sick. Help. Sick. Help.
And we dragging your head inside of that.
Seriously, I don't got the patience for that. During the regular season, I need to know what's going on, but that's fine.
Yeah. That worked fantastically in the frame, man. I'm just looking at it right now, man. Man, we content kings, man. What the hell going on, son? The button. Now let's go to the phones, man. Fuck, man. I see Martise on the phone, and Martise, I don't want to fight today, man.
That's cool. I'm muting. I'm cute. We ain't got. I'm muting myself. Go ahead, do that.
Martise, I don't want to fight today, man. Look, we let you get your point off all the way yesterday. We didn't cut you off. We didn't interrupt you. Look, we're still funny enough. You can check the group chat. Listen, chat. One of my volume guys, right? One of the behind the scenes guys, Christian, right? Producer. He does some of the thumbnails for us. He, sets up the live streams and things like that. He was like, yeah, Voch, you mind if I, this ain't his voice for real, but just in my mind, I just give people this. But he say, Voch, you mind if I ask you a question? I said, what's up, bro? This ain't got nothing to do with the work that we doing. I said, what's good? He said, what's up with this Martise fella, man? He's what the fuck going on with him? I said, what?
I said, I ain't even a Cowboy fan, and I got mad.
he said, hey, look, he's an Eagles fan. He said, look, bro, I'm an Eagles fan, and I know better than that. He made a fantastic point. He says, if you want Martise to see wide receivers that aren't wide receiver number ones, then send him film of Jalen Reagor and JJ Arcega-Whiteside. And I was like, that's a fantastic point. And basically what I got from that is ask other fan bases, right? Go around. You can go to Reddit, right? I'll probably make a post to copy and paste to send the other 31 threads in Reddit. Do y'all think CeeDee Lamb is a wide receiver one, and would you love to have him on your team? And I bet you most teams would love to have CeeDee Lamb on their team and that he's a wide receiver one to them. I'm digressing though. All right, let's get into the phones. I know we saying Martise's name and he is the villain number one, but you wasn't here first, player. We're gonna go ahead and get DJ on the phone. You ain't finna skip the line for DJ Martise. Come on, sir. We'll get to you in a minute. DJ, what's good with you, sir?
Hey, what's good, Voch? What's up, Sky? How y'all doing today, brother?
We are blessed, bro. We are blessed. What you got for the show, Doc?
Man, I got a bone to pick right now because I made a mistake and I turned on ESPN. And for some reason, not everybody, but some people got the 49ers over the Cowboys. Not that we need the clout. Normally, I don't let it disturb me. Normally, I don't let it bother me. But they're like, oh, the defense is the best in the league. So I got curious, did a little research, then looked at the schedule, and they've been playing like bottom 10 offenses all year, and they want to talk about how the Cowboys or the 49ers defense is better. They played the Rams twice, lost to Denver 11-10, played Carolina, lost to Atlanta, got blown out by Kansas City 44-23.
Wow.
And somehow they want to talk about how dominant this defense is when they ain't played nobody.
Wow.
And the couple times they did, they lost.
Right.
They played the worst offense in the league and couldn't even beat them. Gave up a safety in the middle of it. And they lost the quarterback. So that's got me a little frustrated, got me a little aggravated. But other than that, man, the team has been playing very, very well. They're only going to get better with Tyron Smith coming back. And hopefully they do move Tyler Smith over to guard. That looks like that's in the works.
Sure. I
think they become, and you could have an argument because the right side of the line is perfectly fine with Kratos and Terrence Steele. And then you move Tyler Smith over to guard, and then you have Tyron Smith, give him a couple games to kind of get back to being himself, and what happens? I think they can go beat for beat with the Eagles line, which I'll give credit where it's due. It's a good line. I think that overall, we just need to get into the playoffs and see what happens there. Actually, I just want to get to Christmas Eve first. Let's see.
Sure.
Let's get to Christmas Eve first, see what happens there, and then move forward. And then this could be one of them years that everything plays out, but we got to get there first.
Good call, DJ. Appreciate you, man. Now, to be fair, when I hear people talk about the 49ers defense, I do kind of give a benefit of the doubt because I do know of these dudes, but I'd be lying if I told you that I've deep dived the shit into the 49ers defense and, just some of the offense that you're naming off that the 49ers have played. I mean, Cowboys have definitely played a better offense, but that ain't my business to speak on. I think offense,
defense, man.
Yeah, they play good defense, man. They got Bosa kids over there. Armstead's coming back. They got some dudes that love to tackle. Fred Warner's a dude. They got some solid cover guys over there. They play some good defense over there.
They don't have their quarterback though, so they have to be knocked down below Dallas. I'm sorry. Like, what are you doing?
Just a little bit of non-Cowboy talk, Will Steele. What if Brock Purdy ends up being a dude? This is just miscellaneous talk, right?
Tom Brady.
What if Brock Purdy ends up being a guy? Like, what do they do with Trey Lance?
Oh, it already seems like I don't want to say we're moving on from him, but when Garoppolo came back, and they probably like, oh, my bad. We rolling with you, Jimmy. So Trey, they probably dangle trade and see if they could trade him. It seems like John Lynch is a guy that is aggressive in that manner.
Interesting. Yeah, we're gonna beat the shot of the 49ers, dog. Y'all already know, man. Come on, man. Son. All the games that we could possibly play in the playoffs, Will Steele, they're all getting that game. Fuck. They're all you know what it is, Will Steele? Because I got this Madden pulled up. That's probably
you know what? That's probably exactly what it is because you have never done this before like this, and you was like, play this Madden. This 07.
Well, I ain't cutting Madden though. We just gonna have to keep refreshing it.
Nah, I'm just playing. There you go.
Dreary music, highlight tapes, CeeDee Lamb. All right, cool. We back. And then I like how it just dies slow. All right, y'all, we back again. Will Steele is really the best at this, man. He's really, really the best at this. What is that last soundbite saying? You talking about? He says bomb DeMonco. Somebody tell Nick Flores who.
Oh no.
Who Somebody informed. And look, there's many answers to this, so it will be interesting to see where y'all go.
Because is he talking about where it's from or who the actual person is?
Or who the actual person is. Then there's the actual drop, where the drop comes from. So there are many answers to.
That's what I mean. Where the drop is from.
Where the drop comes from, who the actual person is, and then why, the first place you probably heard of Will Steele. So
yes.
Big Willie. So here we go. We'll get into the phones. Chat, tell who said it? Tell Nick where the Don DeMarco drop comes from, and then we'll cross that road with y'all. Let's get Damon on the phone. See what he's talking about. What up, DC?
What's good, Voch? What's good, Sky?
Cool, my guy. We just chilling.
Yo.
Hey, man. So I just wanted to touch on that point from Sunday night, man, because we didn't really get to flesh that out as far as the Cowboys having the absolute best second half defense in the whole league, man. 77 points. They've given up in the second half the entire year.
Damn. Go ahead, sir.
We have a point differential of plus 127, man, when that's top in the league. So I think this defense is definitely hitting their stride, man. Nobody scores on us after halftime, man. I think Dan Quinn makes excellent adjustments.
Yeah.
And then my second point is I think a lot of CeeDee Lamb's emergencies last couple of weeks is, if you notice, now you watch tape more than I do, but I think that I've seen a lot of those option routes are gone out of CeeDee's basic repertoire right now. I mean, it's a lot of motion and then getting him to that open spot. A lot of that, option route has not really become, I haven't seen it be as prevalent. So I just want to know what you guys think about that.
So people ask this all the time, Damon. They'll call in. They'll be like, well, Voch, if the Cowboys become a victim to another slow start, do you think that the defense and the offense can overcome, like if we were to be down by 10 or 14 points at the halftime? And I like what you said when you talk about the adjustments being made, but I just think once this offense gets settled down, it's hard to stop it. Then once this offense gets into that mode, we score points. When we score points, we make the other team throw the football. The minute you stop running football, these 33 points in the fourth quarter wasn't an accident. Because, we probably took advantage of it and scored and made it look real good this time, but we've put teams in that hole before. And the hole that we talk about. And that's actually what this 7 clip was about that Michael Gelkin couldn't get out. But the idea that we put these teams in such a weird position to where they have to throw the football. And that's the scary part. When you can't run no more, dog, it was like the second quarter. Will Steele, please correct me if I'm wrong. It was like the second quarter. It was like 3rd and 7. I'm like, oh, they definitely throwing the ball right here. No, they hand that bitch right on. It wasn't a draw.
Didn't they run on like a 3rd and 18?
A few teams have done that lately over the last few games. I'm like, oh, okay.
They would rather take the L and just give a regular handoff on 3rd and long than to risk.
I think that's what Micah was tweeting about, where he was laughing and like, man, teams really is scared. I think that's what he's talking about. Like, teams don't want to just straight drop back, so they're running the ball when game is over, but in times where they really probably should be throwing it.
When it's dark, when it's dark. So man, we run into these situations, man, but we put teams in a dark spot towards the end of these games. And look, I don't think this is going to be the only time that we have a fourth quarter where that's where we get the turnovers at. You know what I mean? So we may get these games where like Michael won't get a sack. I don't give a fuck, because Micah's ability to get sacks may be the reason why he ain't got the damn sack. Come on, man.
This defense pass rush,
Or I'll
man,
let you
pack of
talk.
crazy dogs, man. Like I would not want to have to be an offensive coordinator and figure out how to adjust to all the different ways that we can get after you, man. So I'm excited about this defense, man. At this point, man, I don't see anybody being able to hang with us, especially with the way that we make adjustments in the second half.
Yes, sir.
To his point about he's calling it the option route, choice route, whatever. I know what you're talking about. The middle of the field read is really what you're saying. That particular part of route tree to me is just everyone does that. That's just a simple read between the quarterback and wide receiver. The problem is it requires a lot of chemistry, right? The safeties, you either cut in front of the safety, or you go behind the safety, depending on how he's playing it. But the option routes, I agree. I think those are gone. I think after week 1, we heard Mike McCarthy come out and say, man, this is the most aggressive option route offense I've ever been in. And you see that they're not really doing that as much, which I like. However, I wonder if that interception to Michael Gallup was one. Because the way he ran that was really weird when he got to the top of his route. It's like he was thinking. And obviously, he was being pulled, too, a little bit as well. But I do agree with you, though. DC, there's really not many. It doesn't look like to me that there's a whole lot of option routes, but they have eliminated in a way that read for CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott, which is good. I don't think it's necessary. I think you should just send Schultz up there to do it.
Appreciate you, Martise. Good call, big dog.
That wasn't Martise.
I mean, shit, Damon, my bad.
All right, man, y'all be.
My fault.
I said DC. I don't know. I meant to say Damon.
Yeah. I was looking at Martise in the call log. He's next after T-Dub from Wichita. T-Dub, what up, sir? How you doing, man?
T-Dub, what's goody?
What's up, Mr. Voch? It's been a minute.
Man, ain't nothing changed but the name on the mail. We blessed, sir. You know how it is. What you got? What you got?
I didn't want nothing, man. I just called in to give y'all flowers, man. I'm so proud of y'all. I can't even stand it, man.
I'm proud of Will Steele.
See how you come up, and to have
Kavachi.
Guy as producer, man, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Right. Man. Look, T-Dub, it's been a long road of hard work, man. But we not done yet, man. We got a lot more work to do, a lot more bags to get. You understand? We got a lot more to get right. But we appreciate you for the flowers, man. Love you to pieces. Appreciate you, man.
Man, proud, just proud. Don't think it's finally cold outside. I finally get to rock my my Voch hoodie.
Man, it's still hot.
Man, it's been in the closet for a minute living in Texas. So
yeah, appreciate it.
Hey, 75 degrees a day, something.
Man,
like
I got you. Man, the only thing I want to comment on was get your opinion about Turpin. Turpin as a wide receiver. If this thing with OBJ don't work out, am I missing something? Didn't Turpin play wide receiver in college?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I just don't think we're using Turpin. I mean, I don't know why we ain't using Turpin. Let me not act like I know why we're not using Turpin. But Turpin gets on the field and he's a fantastic decoy. He's a fantastic triple option that we never use. But I don't know. Maybe there's just not a lot of room for the fastest dude on the team. I don't know, but we ain't using.
There's not room for somebody who can take the top off the defense. What am I missing? What am I missing? I understand that you got to keep people to block for Dak, but kick out one of those tight ends. Let Turpin in there. Just hit your head on the goalpost. Even if you don't throw it to him, somebody got to follow him.
I agree.
So what am I missing here?
Yeah, he's a
punt returner. So what am I missing here?
I hear a lot of people give me speculation answers of why. I say, okay, well, how about give him a chance to prove you right? Like, give him a chance to go out there and say, he can't handle a hit, or he can't run by somebody, or like just give him a shot. He ran an over route against the Detroit Lions, and I haven't seen him run that route since. So yeah, I would love to see it. Or I saw some little 5'8", 100-something pound dude against the Patriots get a quick screen and took it to the crib. I think he was a DB.
Yeah.
So why can't you do that with Cavante? I don't know, man. But I'm at the point now, bro. I don't even think it's going to happen. So I don't really get myself all worked up anymore.
That was that motherfucker first catch of the year. Will Steele. He scored a touchdown for the Patriots versus the Bills. Not the Bills last week. It was the Patriots versus somebody last week. But yeah, he came off the bench 23 or whatever. Right, he's a DB special teams guy, and he just happened to be their fast dude on the team. Caught a pass, turning the yak guy, scored. So so hey, that'll be great for Turpin. That'll be great if Turpin can do that for sure.
I just want to call and check in. I thought maybe you guys had information that I didn't know about, or
ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing.
Or something. I don't get it. I literally don't get it. Yeah. That's all I got, man. Happy holidays, and I'll be listening to y'all.
Appreciate you, big dog. Thank you so much for the flowers. We about to deal with Martise for a little bit. Salute to you, sir.
Oh, good luck to you. Good luck to you.
Martise is famous around these parts. I mean, for the wrong reasons, but shit, it is what it is. Let's listen to him. Martise from Philly. What you got for the show, sir?
Hey, I don't want to fight either. And to the chat, it's funny, it's cool, all the comments.
It sounds like you fighting.
Don't mess up the show. Like, it ain't gonna talk about me that much. It don't bother me. But anyway, so what I want to say two things really quick. One, just a philosophy difference, right? So y'all know I'm in the Philly area. Most of my friends are Philly fans. They call me a hater for my comments on Jalen Hurts.
Wonder why?
Right? Because they think or assume they just say, "Oh, you're a Cowboys fan, you're biased," which they should know better by now. But watching Jalen Hurts, watching him plays, he'll play pretty well, but you're not about to tell me the second best quarterback in the league now. Like, I can't just look at and ignore all of the negatives, all the red flags, and carry on as if he's the second coming of Michael Vick with an arm. Because statistically, he's going to end up doing something, assuming he doesn't get hurt, that nobody in football history has ever done. And maybe nobody will again. It's like, I can look at that doesn't all of a sudden make me think he's something that he's not. And I mentioned that just to say he's not better than Dak all of a sudden. Like, that didn't all of a sudden just randomly occur. So when I'm analyzing it, and I guess this will be more relevant in a couple of weeks when we play Philly, but it's starting to look like with Jimmy Garoppolo, things starting to look real, real promising in terms of quarterback competition for Dallas. But I just wanted to drop that, and just looking at his numbers alone, if that's all we looked at, heck, he's going to the Hall of Fame.
Martise, is this supposed to be some kind of attempt to get back on the good side of Cowboy Nation, sir?
No. Put it. I don't care about that, right? But here's my overall point, right? If I'm not analyzing the player within his context, i.e., he's got the best. I'm sure y'all might disagree, but I think he's got the best offensive line in the league. He's more of a runner than a thrower. He's more of a one-read guy. And then
hey, Will, somebody say that Martise wearing loafers and a suit just to sit down in the den.
Then he's going right to his deep ball.
Okay,
Even his last game, I watched the whole thing, and I'm like, he's got great stats. I got him in fantasy. I was about to put $5,000 on him for MVP before the year, just because of the odds and looking at the team he had. I'm mad I didn't, because my mom was like, if AJ Brown go down, y'all dead in the water.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take up too much time.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. Please,
I don't just analyze a stat or ignore your context when I'm analyzing you. If Jalen Hurts starts going through reads in a regular situation, I'll give him credit as legit. He's already improved as a passer. I acknowledge that. But I give him more credit, like, okay, you're actually showing you're not a highly dependent player. Like, as of now, he's incredibly dependent. And he is not in Dak's league, but again, that'll become more relevant later. I just wanted to drop that just for some context on any and everything doesn't move me. And I was going to put, but it's not a lot of money, but I was going to put $5,000 on him for MVP, and I want him to lose.
The football philosopher Martise, we appreciate you for not fighting us today, dog. We appreciate you, sir. Good call. Chat, watch this. Will Steele, what did Martise say?
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
What do you say, Will?
He should run this entire thing back in about 3 weeks because we've got the Titans on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I'm saying nice. I'm trying to say. I'm not saying nice things. I'm saying nice things. Yeah. Bring this back about three weeks. Texans. We got the Texans this week. So
we'll talk about Jalen Hurts in 3 weeks.
Talking about Jalen Hurts in 3 weeks. Yeah.
That was a bit random, wasn't it, Will Steele?
A little bit.
I think that was his attempt to say, "Hey guys, look, I can be unbiased."
That's the first time that I'm like, oh, okay, he is a Cowboy fan.
Yeah. Now, so somebody in the chat asked him earlier, "Are you a Cowboy?" He said, "Yeah, I'm a diehard Cowboy fan." So I'm like,
oh, okay. But to be fair, he said he's in Philly, so I can see why this may be on his mind. I've lived in PA. It is annoying dealing with them. Yeah, Jalen Hurts all of a sudden I don't think is better. And if you want to add some more to this conversation, they do a fantastic job putting him in position to succeed. That's all you can ask for from your franchise. I ain't mad at him for that.
Somebody in the chat said they called so bad it made my pixels come back.
You are pixelated if you want to. Y'all want Hill Sky?
Hey.
Nah, I'm just playing. I just like, if you don't put me back in this spot.
You just throw the oh shit, Will, that's funny, man. Hey, y'all not allowed to miss shows, bro. Like, come on. All right, let's get the last call of the day, and then we'll clock out. We got taco night tonight. So also, if y'all gonna tune into my Patreon today, we watching D-Line. The Patreon will start directly after.
Jay called you Roblox Voch.
Oh no. 510, what's up? Let's end the show off great. Who is this?
Lombardicus Prime, William Stillion. What's up? This is your boy, Bro G.
Bro
what
G.
Up, Bro G?
First time calling in, Voch. Let me tell you a little story, man. I got hold of you through a Sky Show. So, I'm new to the community. Been listening since last year. And he always would bring up Voch. Yeah, Voch in the chat this and shout out to Voch that. And I'm like, for like months, I'm like, who the hell is this Voch? I don't see no Voch. Who is this dude? And I'm like, take me back to I'm telling on my age, back to Different Strokes.
Damn.
I was like, he was like the Gooch. Like they always talked about the Gooch, but you never saw him on the show.
Right.
So fine, I looked you up, man. I appreciate you, man. You do good content, wonderful content. You and Sky. I call it the Sky Show, man. So I appreciate you, man. You guys are real deal. And tell you the truth, I was a little scared to call in because you be roasting folks sometimes, bro.
Oh, we just tell the truth, man. We just tell the truth.
Funny, though.
Yeah.
But I want to piggyback off what other caller was talking about. He was talking about the 49ers defense, man. I'm with him, man. I think it's a little inflated, and due to what he was saying too, like they ain't really played no good teams. And Scott knows I live here in the Bay Area, so I see their games probably more than I actually do see the Cowboy games. And Dolphins, man, Tua, that dude was scared of his own shadow, man. He had clean pockets. He was just overthrowing wide open receivers. So it's really hard to gauge. The defense is no doubt is good. It's good. They're number one. We're right behind them at number two. So, and another thing, with their quarterback going down and that rookie coming in, we had a rookie that took us kind of far. So, I wouldn't count them out, man. They still contended to me. But I still think we're better than the 49ers. I'm ready for that smoke in the playoffs. I'd rather have them Jimmy G, so they can't make 49er fans can't make no excuses.
Yeah. I was saying to Will Steele, my bad. I was saying to Will Steele the other day that the 49ers are so physical that it almost masks the fact that they're not good to me. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if we play against the 49ers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because to be fair, the Buccaneers looked horrific yesterday, but they pulled it out at the end because the Saints are equally as terrible. But I think if we play both those teams, right, both problems that we have with those teams are their physicality. So if we can match physicality between those teams, I think Jonathan Hankins and guys like Tyler Smith, older Bohanna is gonna do a better job of helping us with that this year than we did last year. Then I think that we should be fine when we run into any of those teams in the postseason tournament. You feel me, bro? G, I just put you down as platinum, man. Next time you call in, I know it's you, man. Salute.
Right on, man. All right, still
appreciate you, bro, G.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The dope thing about this universe, Will, still, and good thing I'm not a narcissist, but the amount of people that call my show and say what's up to you is fantastic. It's amazing. Like, I'm calling to say what's up to Will Steele first. Then I'm going to say what's up to Voch. Then I'm going to answer the question. Like, what up, Will? What up, Voch? I hear my question going. Like, all right.
Now they be like, hey man, what up, Will? How you doing, Voch? Yeah, what I want to know is what y'all think? Let you get a chance to answer.
They care nothing about me. They barely get out what's up, Voch, before they answer their question. It's all good, man. I love everybody, man. This is a dope little thing, man. When y'all tune in to Will Steele in the morning, he's like the prelude to the show, man. You know what I mean? So go check him out, then tap in with us in the morning. Easy peasy.
Somebody said they tune in. Their schedule is they tune into the morning show, then they do laws in the middle, and then they come over here to Voch's show. And I just think that's just so dope. And if we could somehow have like a channel, like a legitimate, even though this is the new TV. Yeah, we could be the most powerful Cowboys network in the land.
Indeed, sir. Indeed. You ain't saying nothing wrong there, Will Steele. You ain't saying nothing wrong. Let's get into some super, shall we? We ain't doing nothing else. I don't smell no dinner cooking. Let's get into the volume side. Do we have any supers on the volume today? Nothing on the volume day. Appreciate it. Let's run over to the Voch side. See what happens here. How many people got watching live right now? Damn, 1,000 people watching live right now. Appreciate y'all for being here, man. Appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for being here. Because the volume need to see these numbers. They need to see them high. Hit the like button, please. Cause shit, Will Steele, they love us like this, boy. Just imagine if we. All right. All right. And Pedroski 84, appreciate you, sir. He dropped a 5 and says, I really dislike Skip Bayless. To the point. Appreciate you, Pedroski. I ain't nothing against Skip Bayless, but shit.
His name is Pierogi?
Pedroski. It's kind of like Pedro.
Oh, we're putting the ski out there. How you
ski on that.
Okay.
So it's Pedroski. Then we got Cool Hand Lou. He dropped 5 super chat. Says, I need to concentrate for this. He says, when in cover 3, do we have Joseph focus on stacking the receiver and attacking the ball, hook linebacker, or strong safety handle in breaking? Well, if Kelvin Joseph is in cover 3, his job is deep third, and that's it.
Right. So that's a very interesting question.
Yeah, he ain't worried about nothing else but deep third. Now he can play deep third and have his eyes on the backfield. That's a cool little cheat code for you. But shit, the linebackers and the safeties. I mean, it just depends on if it's cover 3. So it just depends on who's going to be flats guy and who's going to be hook and curl guy. But as far as Kelvin Joseph's job in cover 3, he just cover thirds. He just covers deep third. Appreciate you though. Cool hand, Lou. With that being said, let's get Marcus Harrison up in here and see what he's talking about. Well, yeah, I ain't seen Marcus Harrison today. That's a lot of something up here.
Yeah, he was in there earlier. Yeah,
we saw him. Right? We have a 49er drop the deuce in the super chat, says massive update. Jimmy G will be back for the playoffs.
Really?
I feel the same. I feel the same, honestly. But yeah, okay, cool. Jimmy's back in the play. Well, we'll see.
I mean, that would be massive for them. That's no doubt about it. They know how to win with Jimmy in the playoffs. But
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Hey, appreciate you for the update, Niner faithful. Thanks for tuning into the show. But Jimmy does have playoff experience. We talked about that yesterday. Jimmy knows that playbook like, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens. Here we go. Cut this down a little bit so we won't get no copyright infringement on a song that's 300 years old. Hear ye. Let's see what Marcus Harrison says. We had him, but that's boy, the chat be moving. Here we go. Marcus Harrison says, at the volume. That's me and Will Steele when he says that. At the shit, I lost him. Here we go. At the volume, top 3 scoring offense equals Liu Kang. Top 3 scoring defense equals Kung Lao. Sounds like a recipe for success to me. Shouts out to the Shaolin monks.
That sounds like Hill.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Lions sleep outside. Hashtag Mortal Kombat. What y'all probably didn't know is Voch got a real deep Mortal Kombat nerd bag. I love Kung Lao, bro. I love Kung Lao. He keep getting fucked up. Why the fuck? Why our top 3 defense couldn't be somebody else? But anyway, shouts out to Kung Lao. Kung Lao is also he's also a fantastic character in the Mortal Kombat ethos. Now, if he was the original Kung Lao, like if he was old elder Kung Lao, the one that won the original tournament to save Earth Realm, then we could talk about being Kung Lao. But if we just talking about new monk ass Kung Lao, yeah, Kung Lao be getting his ass whooped. I love
Kung Pao chicken.
Kung Lao, the monk with the sharp ass hat. You know what I mean? That monk. Chat, that's all we got for y'all today. It is 4:30. I smell tacos cooking. That's always a beautiful thing. Of course, we have the patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. We're going to be watching D-Line tonight around 6 p.m. Central or so. So be sure to be tuned in for that. Hit the like button and all the algorithm buttons on the volume. And follow me on all my social media platforms, VOCHLOMBARDI. I probably said the name of the Patreon, but just in case I didn't, patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. That link should be in the description. Y'all should actually leave here right now and go watch
Spam the chat.
CeeDee Lamb film session. And they titled it. Let's see what my guys titled it. How Kellen Moore used CeeDee Lamb as Dallas Cowboys #1 receiver versus Colts. Boy, they know how to hit the algorithm buttons, don't they? Will?
They got them all.
They know how to get all the words.
They perfect with it.
Good job, fellas. Good job. Appreciate y'all. Now, I'll be dropping that link in the chat box, in both chat boxes. Y'all can go watch that film session right now. And like I said, we're watching D-Line around 6:30 or so on the Patreon. If y'all want to follow Will Steele and all his fantastic work, it is on social media, Skywalker Steele, SKYWALKERSTEELE.
Beast.
And if y'all want to check out his morning show, the prelude to this show, it is on A to Z Dallas YouTube page. Check him out around 8:15 to 8:30. He'll go live till about 10 o'clock. Appreciate you, sir, for everything that you do. With that being said, somebody asked me, what am I drinking with my tacos? We still trying to lose weight, dogs. We got nothing but water. Y'all hold it down for the Doski Walls and Peasky Weezy until tomorrow, where we try our best to give you something interesting on the Houston Texans. Volume.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Beats Planet.